Being a mom and also building a career has been a very multifaceted and complex process. I had my first daughter when I was 18. I was obviously terrified, scared. I wasn't sure what was next. I was also a high school dropout, so I had limited education. I wasn't sure what to do with my career or my future. I ended up having another daughter too when I turned 21. And so when I turned 21, I decided to complete my high school education. I also went on to complete college in 4 years. I graduated with honors, and I went on to build a career in technology sales. So I was really lucky early on in my career that I had some really great mentors who saw qualities in me that I didn't even see. And very early on they said, "Jenna, you're really great at sales." And I thought, I'm not really great at it. I don't see myself doing sales in the future. But I was given opportunities early in my career to test out what sales was like. Being a female in tech was really hard because I didn't look like the others. Number one, I wasn't male. Two, I was a mom with very young children. And a third part of it was I was not an Ivy League graduate. So being amongst entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley, I didn't look like the others. So I really had to work hard. Lots of long nights, not being able to really sleep. So having to build a career in tech sales, you really have to be tireless in your approach. You sometimes have to work harder than other people. I was also very curious. I wanted to know how things worked. I wanted to know how certain types of technologies functioned. I feel really fortunate. My grandfather came here when my mom was about 10 years old from the Philippines, and he came to the US with only about $100 in his pocket. So he didn't have a ton of opportunity. He was educated in the Philippines, but he really came here with nothing. And so growing up having Filipino grandparents who grew up in the Philippines, they always wanted to make sure they instilled values in their grandchildren to make sure that we had really great success being United States citizens. My grandma was also an amazing influence in my life. She was actually the oldest of 10 children. And so she, if anything, knew the struggles of raising kids and also having a career. And my grandma really taught me that it was important, number one, to speak up. It's one thing that she always taught me was, if you have an opinion, Jenna, you need to tell people what you think, which can be really scary, right? In just the corporate environment to say in front of a lot of people, "Oh, I don't agree with you," or "I have a better idea." But my grandma did give me that self-confidence to say, make sure you speak up. But another thing my grandma taught me was to make sure even when you speak up and even when maybe you don't agree with your colleagues or someone that you're working with, it's also important to be kind. I've been very lucky to have a husband that was very supportive in my career, that he always gave me wings. Honestly, I think my husband changed more diapers than I did at one time. So he's been really a great support to me in raising our children. So starting off in sales, one thing I knew I wanted to do was obviously I wanted to grow in my career. And something that I noticed as I looked at my peers and I looked at other people in tech was I didn't see people who looked like me. I didn't see, number one, Asian females in executive roles. A Harvard Business Review done in 2018 said that Asians are actually the least likely to be promoted into management. We've seen books being published about leaning in and seeing more women in leadership. But really, the increase in women in leadership is only growing by a few percentage points a year. So in 2019, there were about 15% of women who were in leadership roles. It did grow a little in 2021 to 26%, but I think we need to grow even faster.